Stop everything now, because this footage destroys every excuse, every doubt, every lie ever told about Bigfoot forever.
This isn't AI, it isn't CGI, it isn't some shaky rumor stitched together in the dark. This is a massive, breathing, bone-crushing creature exploding out of the tree line with a violence that no algorithm on Earth could mimic. Its movement is too real, too heavy, too primal. Every step vibrating through the camera like a heartbeat you don't want to hear. Scientists reviewed it and froze. Some backed away, some refused to comment. A few whispered that this could rewrite everything.
Before we begin, like and subscribe to unlock more terrifying hidden truths.
Deep in the Cascadia backline wilderness, a lost hiker's emergency locator beacon triggered a motion-activated drone feed that accidentally captured this moment. A massive shape leans in, on camera. 3 silhouettes bend over the ground, caught on the drone's thermal scan. Long arms sweep across the body, filmed in shaking blue-white light. Experts later noted the creature's disproportionate shoulders, up to 70% broader than humans, along with thick, rain-matted hair and arms extending well past the knees, moving with a predatory silence that shouldn't be possible for something 2.5 meters tall and built like a 90s refrigerator but fluid like an NFL runner cutting through fog. The faint orange eye shine, documented frame by frame, matches no known mammal in North America, leading some field biologists to speculate about unknown primate offshoots adapted for nocturnal search behavior or cooperative pack recovery patterns. If they weren't attacking her, then what were they doing to her? Recorded by a winter hiker's telephoto lens in the Alaskan interior after he heard something heavy collide with snowpack ahead. A dark mass lifts a struggling shape, caught on camera. Snow erupts on impact, filmed in a violent arc. The creature roars, scanned against white silence. Biomechanical reviewers estimated the creature's height near 3 meters, with leg drives strong enough to hoist an animal vertically before slamming it down. The spine remains straight during the lift, unlike bears, which hunch, suggesting advanced bipedal strength. Fur hangs in icy clumps, and the skin beneath looks slate gray, an adaptation for frigid climates. Movement is shockingly fast, but whisper quiet, like a heavyweight predator optimized for ambush strikes in deep winter. The roar itself mixes human resonance with low-frequency bison vibration. If this is how it hunts in deep snow, what happens when it adapts to hunting in our terrain instead? Recorded at a remote mining camp in Denali Range, using a cheap GoPro pinned to a fuel drum, moments before the workers vanished from radio contact. Something lunges into frame, on camera. A massive arm clamps down, caught on a half-broken tripod. The man's breath fogs as the creature's hair fills the lens, filmed inches away. Researchers who analyzed the footage noted impossible leverage. The arm length suggests a humerus nearly double that of a human, and musculature dense enough to overpower an adult without visible strain. Yet the creature's feet barely disturb the gravel, moving with an apex hunter precision, more like a stalking cat than a heavyweight mammal. Some cryptozoologists propose an evolutionary lineage built for ambush in dense canopy. Gray-skinned, rain-damp hair, and a musky odor similar to wet bear mixed with decaying wood. How does something that strong move without making a single sound? At a backcountry campsite near Glacier Peak, a thermal security tarp camera activated at 02:11 a.m., catching the exact second the tent was ripped open. Fabric tears in a single sweep, filmed in violent blur. A giant silhouette bends low on camera. A hooded figure is dragged toward the ember glow, caught on night mode. The creature's proportions, towering between 2.7 and 3 meters, show heavy thoracic mass like a Texas cold storage wall, yet its shoulders rotate with uncanny flexibility. Biologists studying primate locomotion say this could indicate an ancient divergent hominid adapted for both knuckle-assisted running and upright bursts of speed. The orange-red eye shine, reflected off tent nylon, supports nocturnal tapetum lucidum structures unknown in any ape. And the breath sound, half-human groan mixed with wind through a hollow log, has no clean zoological category. If it can rip into a tent this easily, what keeps it out of our homes? Filmed by 2 snowshoers along the Whitewood Ridge during a sudden weather inversion, using a dropped phone that continued recording after hitting the snow. A pale mass charges between trees, caught on camera. Branches snap, filmed in frantic jerks. A red jacket flashes once, scanned by cold daylight. Scientists reviewing the footage were stunned by the creature's stride length, over 1.8 meters per step, combined with shock-absorbing footfalls that leave shallow tracks despite an estimated weight exceeding 350 kilograms. The long fur, clumped by frost, resembles cryo-adapted primates speculated in Yeti chronicles from the 19th century. Though locals insist, this region has its own legend of a northern skookum variant capable of running down elk across deep snow. Its speed appears disproportionate to mass, bison heavy, but moving like a downhill skier gaining impossible momentum. If it can outrun humans in deep snow, what chance do we have on solid ground? Captured on a Jakarta residential CCTV unit during a blackout, when backup batteries briefly powered on and recorded exactly 21 seconds of footage. A towering figure steps into the narrow alley, on camera. Its arms drag low, filmed brushing the walls. The man backs up as the creature's chest fills the frame, caught on CCTV flicker. Comparative analysts noted how the creature's proportions align eerily with Sumatran orang pendek legends, though far larger than any historic reports, sharing the same barrel torso, long forearms, and earth-brown skin beneath thick matted hair. Some speculate a survival offshoot of unknown primates forced into urban fringe zones, adapting to tight pathways and nocturnal scavenging. Its movement is unsettlingly smooth, heavy as buffalo but silent as a stalking leopard. Even the eyes shine, amber, almost intelligent, suggests behavioral awareness of the camera's position. If it walks calmly into a crowded neighborhood, what else has already learned to live beside us? A motion-triggered hunting cabin security cam in the Ozarks captured this at 02:14 a.m. after repeated reports of something rattling tool sheds for weeks. The door splinters outward, filmed in stark infrared. A hulking shape stoops to enter, on camera. A booted foot jerks back, caught in the final frame. Biomechanical specialists reviewing the footage highlighted the creature's unusual spinal curvature, allowing it to fold nearly in half without losing balance, plus finger extension long enough to wrap fully around the shed door like wet clay. The gait is slow but predatory, weight shifting with controlled precision that hints at evolved stealth adaptations. The musky odor described by the owner afterward matches reports from multiple Bigfoot encounters involving damp fur and rotting wood scent. Shoulders broader than industrial freezer units imply massive trapezius development capable of extraordinary lifting force. If it knew tools were stored inside, does it also understand how we use them? Just after midnight on a remote cattle farm in northern Idaho, a rusted trail cam mounted to the fence captured this exact frame moments before the entire gate was torn free. Metal warps inward, filmed in stark infrared. A towering shape steps through, on camera. Dust lifts as long arms drag the twisted bars, caught on motion scan. Experts studying the footage were stunned by the creature's leverage and biomechanics. Despite a height near 2.8 meters and shoulders wider than a Texas cold room wall, it moves with predatory smoothness, shifting weight like a mountain lion stalking prey. The fur, thick, rain-matted, and dark, hangs over gray skin beneath, and its orange eye shine flares at certain angles, suggesting nocturnal adaptation beyond known primates. Some analysts believe this may represent a behavioral pattern linked to territory testing, similar to how elk challenge weak spots in enclosures, but executed with human-level intent. If it can bend steel like clay, what stops it from opening a house door? Recorded in the Atchafalaya Basin by two night anglers using a handheld spotlight after they heard something thrashing violently in the reeds. Water explodes upward, filmed in chaotic flashes. A gator's jaws snap, caught on the beam. A massive figure grips the reptile mid-roll, scanned in shaking light. Wildlife biologists reviewing the clip noted an impossible combination of traits. Arm span exceeding 2 meters, dense chest mass reminiscent of a refrigerator-sized wrestler, and footwork precise enough to maintain balance in waist-high marsh water. The creature's movements, heavy yet controlled, mirror ancient tales of the southern skookum, a swamp-adapted hominid recorded in early French trapping journals, described as silent until violence. The fur appears soaked but layered, possibly allowing insulation during sudden cold snaps. Its low growl blends human cadence with distant thunder, forming a sound no recognized species can cleanly match. If it can overpower an apex predator with bare hands, what rank does it hold in the food chain? A private deer camp security camera in Missouri auto-activated at 11:48 p.m., right as the wooden outhouse door jerked open on its hinges. A hulking back blocks the doorway on camera. Loose boards snap, filmed in grainy IR. The occupant freezes as the creature leans in, caught mid-step. Analysis of the lower spine curvature shows shocking flexibility, allowing the creature to fold itself under the low roofline without losing its center of gravity. Hair density appears thickest at the shoulders, with coarse strands reflecting faint light like wet rope. Experts argue this could indicate a cold season molt pattern similar to mountain ungulates, yet the body mass, estimated at 360-420 km, moves silently, each footfall cushioned like a stalking feline. The amber eye reflection documented in the footage aligns with nocturnal predators, but shaped differently, deeper set, almost intentional in focus. If it opens doors instead of breaking them, does that mean it understands how we live? Captured by a dash cam on a fog-heavy logging road in eastern Oregon, moments after the occupant stopped to investigate a shape crossing through the mist. A giant form erupts from the tree line, caught on camera. Leaves scatter under its stride, filmed in a blur. Two passengers duck as long arms swing forward, scanned by headlights. Researchers studying locomotion estimated the creature hitting speeds near 40 mph, despite uneven terrain. The stride is both explosive and eerily silent, with knees bending deeper than any known great ape. Its build, massive as a loaded freezer unit, contrasts with its fluid movement, resembling an NFL linebacker sprinting downhill with no loss of balance. Fur hangs in thick, damp curtains, and the skin glimpsed beneath is earth brown, consistent with multiple Pacific Northwest sightings. Some speculate this could be territorial displacement behavior, triggered by engine noise or vibration frequency. If it chooses to run toward us instead of away from us, what changed in the woods? Shot on a lost hiker's VHS-grade backup cam near Yellowstone's western rim, recovered days later with the battery frozen and casing cracked. Two masses collide, filmed in grainy static. A bear rears up, caught mid-swipe. The larger silhouette locks its arms around the grizzly, scanned in jittering frames. Veteran wildlife trackers were shocked by the footage. The creature stands a full head taller than the bear, with shoulders 60% wider than human norms, and arms long enough to wrap around the grizzly's torso. The grip strength shown, pinning a 300+ kilograms animal, implies tendon and bone density beyond any known primate, possibly an adaptation for defending kills or competing for territory. Some cryptid historians compare this to Wendigo legends of northern tribes, describing pale-eyed giants challenging bears for dominance during harsh winters, though modern science refuses to draw parallels. If it can fight a grizzly to a standstill, what else is it strong enough to challenge? Captured on a deteriorated shoreline security tape from the Gulf of Alaska, filmed during a storm surge when the camera's stabilizer failed. Two figures grapple in waist-deep surf, caught on camera. They shove and pivot, filmed in warping static. Salt water sprays upward as their silhouettes merge, scanned by failing sensors. Analysts believe this depicts intraspecies conflict, possibly dominance or territory disputes. Both creatures exhibit massive frames, near 2.6 to 3 meters tall, yet move with uncanny balance against the crashing waves. Their fur drips in heavy mats, suggesting dense insulation similar to northern Yeti descriptions from early Russian naval logs. Shoulder rotation appears unusually flexible, allowing powerful torque like a sumo wrestler but smoother, faster, almost rehearsed. Some speculate this is ritualistic rather than violent, a display meant to intimidate rival groups rather than kill. If this is how they fight each other, what happens when they finally turn their attention to us? shot by a pair of mushroom foragers on a fog-slick forest road in Washington state, their phone camera rolling only because they stopped to film the bear first. The bear rises upright, caught on camera. A darker shape lunges in, filmed in shaky panic. Both bodies slam into the bank, scanned by morning haze. Veteran zoologists reviewing the clip noted that the non-bear figure displays shoulder breadth far beyond human capability and an arm reach exceeding known primates, moving with a strange combination of brute force and fluid control, like a 90s fridge sprinting with the grace of an NFL fullback. The creature's hair swings in heavy rain-glued curtains, the skin beneath showing earth-brown tones consistent with Pacific Northwest legends. Its stance suggests territorial defense behavior, not hunting, challenging an apex predator with eerie confidence. If it chooses to confront a bear in broad daylight, what does it fear, if anything? A livestock barn in rural Tennessee recorded this when the infrared system auto-switched during a power flicker at 2:44 a.m. The dog freezes mid-bark, caught on camera. A massive arm reaches over the fence, filmed in perfect stillness. Sheep huddle tight as glowing eyes scan the pen. Researchers studying posture frames noted unusual pectoral mass and forearm length, far beyond human or gorilla morphology, suggesting a creature designed for power-driven climbing or hauling. Yet its stance is calm, calculated, as if assessing the livestock rather than attacking. The faint reflection in its eyes reveals orange-red tapetum structures typical of nocturnal hunters. Some cryptid historians compare this demeanor to recorded skookum encounters where the creature approaches but rarely strikes, implying an analytical intelligence. Its silent movement, despite enormous bulk, is predator-level stealth. If it studies us before acting, what decision was it moments away from making? Hikers along a remote Canadian river captured this footage after mistaking the creature for a bear, scavenging washed-up debris. A giant tentacle drags across the stones, filmed in cold daylight. The furred figure grips it, caught on camera. Water drains from a massive carcass as both vanish behind reeds. Marine biologists reviewing the footage couldn't determine the identity of the beached creature. Its scale dwarfs known squid species, but attention shifted to the humanoid figure interacting with it. Its mobility shows unusual hip rotation for a biped, and its long arms maneuver the tentacle with deceptive ease. Some speculate this reflects opportunistic scavenging, a behavior consistent with high-intelligence foragers like bears or ancient hominids. The creature's reddish-brown coat and earth-gray facial skin match multiple regional reports describing river-adapted variants capable of hauling heavy carcasses upstream. If this thing feeds on what washes ashore, what deeper monsters is it used to seeing? Filmed by a bow hunter's phone from behind a cedar trunk in Oklahoma backcountry after he noticed something rustling without wind. A reddish mane shifts, caught on camera. A massive torso rises slowly, filmed through branches. The creature's eyes track the lens, scanned in trembling zoom. What stunned analysts was the creature's posture, upright but relaxed, almost reclining, as if aware it was being observed and unconcerned by it. The fur coloration, warm rust tones, resembles orang pendek descriptions but at a scale 3 times larger, suggesting a divergent North American cousin. Its breathing rhythm, visible through chest expansion, is slow and controlled, more like a resting apex predator than a startled animal. Shoulders incredibly wide, up to 70% broader than human average, imply climbing power and brute strength. If it watches us this calmly, how many times has it watched without us knowing? Recorded accidentally by a family's dash cam on the Alberta border during a whiteout, just as they slowed for what they thought was 2 bears fighting. Snow bursts upward, caught on camera. The larger figure grabs the bear's throat, filmed in violent sway. Wheels skid as the family panics, scanned by the headlights. Biomechanical specialists highlighted the creature's incredible leverage. One arm restrains a full-grown grizzly, while the legs stay perfectly balanced on icy pavement. Its fur is thick, winter-adapted, with ice crusted along the forearms, and its motion is stunningly efficient, heavy as a buffalo but silent like a stalking cat. Some theorize this may be a northern variant closer to Yeti physiology, adapted for cold climates through dense musculature and increased lung capacity. Its roar, half human, half bison, vibrates through the frame. If this is how it survives winter, what does it hunt when bears hibernate? A hunter's truck dash cam in Michigan captured this at 1:09 a.m. when something stepped directly into the beam of high beams on a narrow fire road. A towering silhouette emerges. On camera, its chest gleams pale beneath matted hair, filmed in blinding contrast. The creature keeps walking forward, scanned by trembling light. Scientists were unsettled by the proportion of the torso, massive as an industrial freezer, yet lifting with each breath like a trained powerlifter. The arms hang well past the knees, swinging with predatory calculation. Eye shine reflects in a deep reddish hue, indicating nocturnal adaptation, and the gait is unnervingly silent for something well over 300 kilograms. Some cryptid linguists even argue its slow advance toward the vehicle may indicate curiosity rather than aggression, reminiscent of skookum myths where the giant tests courage by approaching without striking. If it doesn't fear headlights or engines, what boundary would ever make it stop? On a rural construction stretch in South Alabama, a stationary night vision work cam captured this explosive moment when workers heard something crashing from the tree line. A bulk shape bursts downhill, caught on camera. 3 workers scramble back, filmed in washed-out green. The machine's lights flare as the creature vaults the ditch, scanned midair. Analysts reviewing frame by frame noted improbable acceleration. The creature launches with a vertical leap inconsistent with anything weighing an estimated 380 kilos. Its limbs swing long, well past knee length, and the chest expands like a Texas freezer door under stress. Yet the landing footprint barely sinks into the soil. Specialists propose extreme tendon elasticity, or an evolved musculoskeletal system resembling felines more than hominids. The matted fur suggests swamp humidity adaptation, and the glinting red eye shine signals high nocturnal acuity. If it can close that distance in a single jump, how far could it leap before anyone hears it coming? A jogger's front-facing phone camera accidentally recorded this while he turned to document a strange, echoing grunt in Michigan's Pine Corridor. A towering shape emerges, on camera. Long arms pump forward, filmed in sunlit dust. The man's breath shakes the frame as the figure gains distance, scanned in panic. Experts studying the physics of the chase identified a disturbing pattern. The creature's gait doesn't match human sprinting. Its stride is too long, too smooth, each step absorbing shock like a predator designed for silent approach. Its fur, dark and thick, flows in heavy sheets over gray-brown skin, and its proportions match known Bigfoot morphology. 2.43 meters tall, shoulders 50–70% broader than human norms. The arm reach alone suggests immense grappling leverage, more akin to silverback power, but without the lumbering sway. If it wasn't sprinting at full speed yet, what happens when it decides to? 2 travelers caught this moment on a dash-mounted camera while slowing for a moose blocking a rain-soaked mountain road in British Columbia. The moose bucks sideways, caught on camera. A massive silhouette grabs its neck, filmed in trembling zoom. Water sheens across the asphalt as both bodies struggle, scanned through mist. Biologists reviewing the footage noted the creature's stance. Legs braced wide, arms wrapped low, indicating strength distribution optimized for takedown control rather than striking. The moose, nearly 500 kilos, appears overpowered not by brute force alone, but by leverage generated from a spine capable of deep flexion. This suggests an evolutionary track involving ambush hunting in dense forest. The creature's fur is soaked but layered, likely insulating under freezing rain. Orange eye shine implies retinal adaptation for low visibility environments, similar to night-stalking predators. If it can restrain a full-grown moose, what else has it brought down without being filmed? A hiker's zoom lens accidentally locked onto this shape after he heard wood snapping repeatedly along a remote Montana ridgeline. Branches whip sideways, caught on camera. A dark bulk shifts behind bark, filmed in shaky foliage. Something hurls debris downhill, scanned in chaotic bursts. Researchers analyzing the audio waveform detected layered vocalization, deep chest resonance mixed with wind-like growls, consistent with multiple Bigfoot witness reports. The creature's silhouette displays massive shoulder span and elongated limb motion, suggesting a display of threat, not attack. Some indigenous accounts of the skookum describe similar anger rituals, where the creature breaks trees to warn intruders. Its movement, heavy like bison impact, yet quiet as a stalking panther, points to advanced muscular coordination. The fur's movement indicates thick, oily strands that repel moisture. If this was only a warning, what would its real attack look like? A hidden wildlife trail cam in northern Wisconsin triggered at 1:17 a.m., capturing this eerie convergence of predator and prey. A deer freezes mid-step, caught on camera. A towering back turns away, filmed in silent stride. The creature never looks at the deer, scanned in infrared glow. Shockingly, analysts noted the deer's reaction wasn't panic flight, but stunned paralysis, suggesting it sensed the creature long before the camera did. The humanoid figure's proportions show immense bulk, yet its footfalls register almost no soil displacement, indicating shock-absorbing gait mechanics. Shoulders slope forward like ancient hominid reconstructions, and the long arms imply exceptional climbing or grappling strength. Its behavior, ignoring a potential prey animal, suggests higher cognition or a diet that varies seasonally like large omnivores. If prey animals stand frozen instead of fleeing, what do they know about this thing that we don't? A family's porch camera in rural Minnesota caught this when they heard a heavy branch break behind the tree line and turned the lens toward the sound. A red-shirted figure is yanked sideways, caught on camera. Chairs scrape the deck, filmed in chaos. A dark mass vanishes behind the trees, scanned in blur. Experts analyzing the footage noted the creature's arm length, far beyond human, stretching out from behind a trunk before the main body even appeared. The speed of the grab suggests reaction time comparable to top predators, yet the retreat is nearly silent. Its coat appears thick and shadow-absorbing, possibly explaining why it blends so effectively into dense forests. Some cryptozoologists argue this aligns with accounts of Wendigo-like forest spirits, though physical evidence points to a biological entity capable of extraordinary stealth and explosive strength. If it can reach into a crowd and vanish instantly, how close has it been without us noticing? This shaky ravine footage was recorded by two campers in northern British Columbia who thought they were filming a routine bear scuffle until the second shape stood upright. Both bodies slam sideways, caught on camera. Claws flash upward, filmed in rough blur. A towering silhouette pins the bear, scanned frame by frame. Wildlife analysts argue the non-bear figure displays biomechanics impossible for humans. A vertical spine staying rigid during impact, and arms long enough to wrap around the bear's shoulders like a grappling harness. Its fur is dark, rain-soaked, and dense, hanging off grayish skin glimpsed beneath. Movement is disturbingly precise, massive as an old freezer unit, yet gliding with NFL-level agility. Some cryptid researchers compare this to Wendigo encounters where giants challenge apex predators during scarce winters, though biological evidence hints at a terrestrial primate built for explosive ambush tactics. If this creature can overpower an adult bear, what does it consider a true threat? A remote highway security cam near the Payette River in Idaho captured this when a maintenance truck rounded the bend at 2:43 a.m., flooding the roadside with high beams. The figure jerks upright, caught on camera. It bolts across gravel, filmed in stark IR glare. The truck's lights chase its retreat, scanned in jittering motion. Analysis reveals the creature's stride length exceeds human possibility, nearly 2 meters per step, yet it maintains perfect balance even while pivoting on loose rock. The long arms and broad shoulders suggest phenomenal upper body power, but what alarms experts most is its reaction. Not aggression, but fear. Eye shine flares reddish gold, matching nocturnal predators with high rod density. Some speculate the animal avoids artificial light deliberately, a behavior recorded in skookum folklore describing forest giants who shun the white fire of men. If it fears our lights this much, what darkness is it more comfortable in? Filmed at extreme zoom by a hunter in Yukon territory, after he spotted movement on a ridge he believed was just another moose. The moose jerks sideways, caught on camera. A huge silhouette clamps its head, filmed in wind blur. Both figures stagger near the ridge edge, scanned through haze. Experts examining musculature noted the creature's stance is low, controlled, and built for leverage rather than brute striking. Its long arms create a choke-like hold around the moose's neck area, something even bears struggle to maintain. The fur appears thick and reddish-brown, possibly indicating seasonal coat transition. Its motion is terrifyingly efficient, heavy as a buffalo, but silent as a stalking cougar. Some biologists propose this could be a cold-climate hominid variant akin to the documented Yeti adaptations, broad chest cavity for oxygen retention, and extraordinary limb torque. If this is its hunting technique, how many kills happen miles away with no witnesses at all? A car dash cam in rural Maine recorded this when the driver slowed to avoid hitting what he thought was a fallen tree until the figure straightened its back. A hunched shape stacks rocks, caught on camera. Headlights sweep over thick fur, filmed in fog. It turns sharply toward the vehicle, scanned in eerie silence. Researchers analyzing the footage noticed something uncanny. The stones weren't scattered randomly, but placed in a deliberate line, possibly as a trail block or territorial marker. The creature's hands are massive, palms broad, fingers long like jointed branches. Despite its size, it moves with astonishing precision, as if the placement matters. Some indigenous accounts speak of forest giants using stone patterns as navigation beacons or warnings. The creature's amber eye shine and earth-brown skin beneath the fur suggest a nocturnal forager with high situational awareness. If it's creating signs on the road, who or what are those signs meant for? This grainy footage surfaced from an anonymous source, claiming it was recorded during a private wildlife transport in the late 90s before being leaked online. Hands grip steel bars, caught on camera. Fur shakes violently, filmed in low amber light. A guttural howl reverberates, scanned in analog distortion. Analysts debate authenticity, but several features stand out. The creature's fingers are excessively long, with nail beds adapted for climbing rather than grasping tools. Musculature bulges even under stress, and shoulders span wider than a human torso by 60–70%. The eyeshine flickers red-orange, consistent with high-density rod cells in nocturnal predators. The most disturbing detail is the creature's apparent awareness of the camera. It moves deliberately, adjusting posture like an intelligent captive. Some comparisons have been drawn to orang-pendek folklore, but on an impossible scale. If someone actually captured it once, what happened to the people who held the cage? In the end, every frame we've seen tonight reminds us of something deeper than fear. The ancient truth that our world is far older, wilder, and more complicated than we admit. Whether these shadows in the timber are unknown primates, evolutionary outliers, or something that walks the line between legend and biology, one thing is certain: they challenge the limits of what we think we know. For generations, people have whispered about footsteps in the dark, broken branches where no wind blew, and eyes watching from tree lines we believed were empty. Now, piece by piece, the cameras are catching up to the stories. If these creatures exist, they are not just mysteries. They are warnings, signs that the forest still holds secrets bigger than us. If you felt even a spark of curiosity, fear, or wonder, hit like, drop a comment, and subscribe to Mystery Footage Uncovered. Your eyes may be the next ones to witness the impossible.